It's the big one again this coming Sunday. Arsenal will be hosting Manchester City at the Emirates. It will be, for me, it will be City's biggest test in terms of the start of the season, because if we look at City's games that they've played in their last 7 games, they've not played any of the top 6 oppositions from last season. This will be their biggest test. Unlike Arsenal, who've had the opportunity to play a team like Manchester United, though United have their own issues, but still, United are a big club, and from what we saw last season, going into that game, we expected that they'll give them a run for their money. So for Manchester City, it will be their biggest test. We've seen City not really hit the ground, going as always. They do not really start the season well. Almost every club has issues with injuries. But I want us to look at this game. It's so huge. For me, it will be a testament to who might eventually win the title. When we did the preview, I stated that I feel Arsenal would win the title this season. You are of a different opinion. You feel that City still have it in them to win the title. Let's look at this game, Kofi.
Well, I think that I disagree with the narrative that it'll be the biggest test for City.
You think so?
I think that, on the contrary, it should be the biggest test for Arsenal, because I want to place this whole conversation contextually. Contextually, if you look at the last 10 games between Arsenal and City,
let me help you.
It's been terrible for Arsenal.
In the last 8 games that they've played, in terms of the Premier League,
yes,
Arsenal have just picked just 3 points from them. The last 2 games they played in the Premier League, City scored 7, Arsenal scored 2. It was 4-1 at the Etihad, and it was 3-1 at the Emirates. The only time Arsenal had the opportunity to beat City was on penalties in the Community Shield. So the two sides, it's more or less like a walk in the park for City. The total games played, City have won 21 times, Arsenal have won just 9, and there have been 7 draws. So clearly, City are miles ahead of Arsenal in terms of games.
So like
played.
you said, I would want to reverse the narrative and think that it's the biggest game for Arsenal in terms of the history of that particular fixture, in terms of what they are to do to surmount City. I mean, it is quite obvious, even at the beginning of the season. Yes, I know that so many teams are springing up at the top. Teams have reared their heads.
Spurs.
Liverpool, Spurs, all of those things. But it's quite the norm that they should spring up surprises. You understand? But I firmly believe that City are still the SI unit when it comes to the current context of who the eventual champions will be in the EPL. And I think that for Arsenal, this particular fixture should mean everything to them, because potentially it could be that one fixture that drives momentum back in your favor. Because listen, if you place the results that Arsenal have gotten against City in the last few years into context, you realize that they've been terrible.
It's not encouraging at all.
So if you go into this game hypothetically end up beating City by a convincing margin, then you develop a self-belief that you have what it takes to last the whole of the haul. You understand? So I think that it is a very big fixture, not just for Arsenal,
not City.
Not City. I mean, I think that City go into this game without any pressure.
You think so?
No, City go into this game without any pressure. Yes, domestically, City have lost 2 consecutive games. 2. In the league, domestically, yes, and in the League Cup,
and in the League Cup,
exactly. So they've lost 2 consecutive games domestically. So they will not go in with a lot of confidence. But every fixture has its permutations, and I think that going to the Emirates and then knowing very much what they've been able to do across the years, I think City will be very much not under pressure. The pressure lies on Arsenal to deliver a big performance against an opponent they've always fought against.
I agree with you that yes, it's a big game, and if Arsenal are able to beat Manchester City, they could ride on the momentum and probably go ahead to cause a lot of the trouble or damage in the league. But I want us to look at City. I look at this City side, and as always, they do not start the season well. Yes, they are on top of the league. They've lost just once. They have 18 points, but still they are yet to hit the fifth gear, even the fourth gear. It's still not the City we've known them to be, because usually at the start of the season, Pep Guardiola wants to try a lot of things. There are issues with injuries. Bernardo Silva just came back. John Stones just came back. Kevin De Bruyne, who is literally the main architect in the team, will be out for 3 months. He's done a month. So the team is not functioning or operating as expected of them. And I was speaking to a friend. I told him that this City team has some few issues they need to sort out. Erling Haaland is being starved of quality supply. Yes, if you watch him in the last 4 or 5 games, he gets them, but I don't know what's happening. He's not being as clinical as he was last season. But if you look at the quality of supply from last season, when Kevin De Bruyne was around, just oppose that to what he's getting this season, you could clearly see there is some drop in terms of quality. There are certain players who are, I do not know, who are trying to play themselves into full fitness. I feel a player like Phil Foden has not lived up to the bidding. Yes, Jeremy Doku has come in and he's been brilliant in his last 3 games. 4 goals in terms of goals and assists. He played four goals in terms of contribution in goals and assists. I'm looking at somebody like Julian Alvarez. If City are going to function and be able to cause havoc to Arsenal, I think that everything would depend on Julian Alvarez, because arguably he's been about their best player both in the Champions League and domestically. You see him play the Kevin De Bruyne role excellently well. We saw the goal he scored against RB Leipzig. You've seen his performance in the league. And the absence of Rodri as well is going to affect the team, because he is the controller in the team. He's the guy that sets the tempo. He's the guy literally everything good in City's midfield revolves around him. I've watched City play without him, and I've seen they try to partner Kovacic and Matthias Nunes. They've tried to play Kovacic and Calvin Phillips. It's still not working because they are not your usual controllers. Kovacic is good in progressing the ball, but he's not a Rodri type of player. How do you see Arsenal maneuver their way in relation to the various ineffectiveness or the various loopholes in this City team?
Yes, I agree. There are massive loopholes in the City.
Massive loopholes.
I do not think that this City team could be classified as invincible.
No, they are
because
not. They are not.
If you look at the frailties that lie across the various divisions of this City team, yes, they are very apparent. But the one thing that makes this City team probably stand out from the rest of the teams in the APL is the quality they do have in depth. You understand?
That's
I
true.
think that you mentioned the fact that Haaland has not been up to the task this season, but then you have somebody like Alvarez
scoring,
coming on form, getting goals when the team needs it, and doing the things that is expected of the team in terms of scoring goals and winning games. I think that, listen, the biggest factors to this game have to be the managers.
You think so?
Yes, I think no.
It's not the various players on the pitch.
No. I think that it boils down to the managers and the decisions they take on that said day. I say the managers because I've looked at Arsenal play. They look very unconvincing.
Are you sure?
Yes,
they are unbeaten this season.
Yes, I agree. They are unbeaten. They are unbeaten in the context of the league. But I've looked at Arsenal. I've looked at when opponents want to hurt them. I looked at Arsenal versus Manchester United. I looked at when Højlund had to come into the game, the sort of pressure he put on the Arsenal defense. And listen, I say the managers because I think that Arteta has tried to overthink with the squad in terms of who plays in that midfield. If he gets it wrong, they will be crucified. He needs to get the combination right.
What would be the perfect combination? There's no Partey.
Yes, but Partey is back is training. You understand?
But I do not think you would rush him in here.
No, but for a game like this, you need your biggest players to come to the fore.
What would be the ideally midfield partnership for Arsenal?
Ideally, I would want to hold what I have. So I would go with a Declan Rice, I'll go with a Partey, and I would go with an Odegaard in that midfield. I'll play 2 holding midfielders.
There will be no Hazard. There will be no Kai Havertz.
No, you don't need Kai Havertz in this game.
In place of Kai Havertz, who should come in? Trossard?
No, you don't need
Because
Trossard.
Martinelli is also out.
Trossard he looks injured, but I think that I'm talking in the context of the midfield. In the context of the midfield, you need a lot of solidity. You need a lot of steel. You need people who strike fear in the hearts of the City midfield. So for me,
Odegaard,
I will go with Odegaard. I will go with Rice and Partey
as the two holding midfielders.
Two holding midfielders.
Then who will be the attackers?
Obviously, there's Gabriel Jesus. You understand? Saka looks like somebody who could potentially mix the game. We are not too certain about his status at this material time, but I think that in the forward line, Arsenal has a plethora of options. You could go with Gabriel Jesus, you could go with Nketiah, you could go with Ryan Nelson or whatever it is. You understand? I think that what they need to sort out is that midfield. If they are able to get a midfield combination right, they could go on and cause a step. But listen, I'll be very frank with you. I've looked at Arsenal. I've looked at them play this season. I am not too convinced about their defense.
I do have a problem. Before we check out, the numbers actually do not really favor Arsenal in terms of their defense. They've scored 15 goals, conceded 6, while City have scored 17 and conceded just 5. City have plus of 12. Arsenal have plus of 9.
I mean, Arsenal has conceded a goal less than City. A goal more than City, sorry. But I'm not really a student of the numbers, you understand? Yes, I like to dwell on the numbers sometimes, but I think that in the context of this conversation, I've looked at Arsenal play, I've looked at them against opponents who are domineering, who are bulky, who are physical. And that is what City does have in abundance. Because, listen, if you're Arsenal, you would have to worry about who takes care of Haaland. You would have to then worry about who takes care of Alvarez. You understand?
And there's this young sensation in Doku who is striking fear.
Well, he's always been a good player. For everyone who has watched him across the years, he's always been a good player. And I think that he can only get better under the tutelage of Pep Guardiola.
Let's wrap up. Who wins this for you?
I think City will win this convincingly. City will win this convincingly. I've played this game 1,001 times in my head. In no way do I see Arsenal coming out of this game.
Are you speaking as a United fan, or because lately your predictions have gone?
No, but if I was speaking as a United fan, I wouldn't vouch for City.
Scoreline
1-3.
Wow. So, guys, Kofi has predicted 3-1. For the first time on this show, I'm sitting on the fence because I do not know where this game is, and I still feel that Arsenal have enough firepower to head City. City are not playing well, in my honest opinion. But what do you think? We want to know your views in the comment section. Who wins this coming Sunday? Is the big one at 4:30. Arsenal hosts Manchester City. This is Sports 101, and we are shooting live from Kofi.
From the Shocks app. I mean, if you want anything food, if you want a cozy environment, if you want a place at the heart of the city, you can sit, enjoy, have delicious meals, and watch all of your sporting games. Obviously, the place to check in has to be the Shocks app. You can run by them, any time of the week. From Monday to Sunday, they are open, and it's a beautiful place. It's a place you would want to be.
So thank you, guys.